Welcome back. So we are talking about how to fix Nigeria. Can Nigeria be redeemed, or it is a lost cause? So I'm going to touch briefly some of the challenges we are facing in Nigeria. And the top of the list is insecurity, and that is what I'm going to talk about in this episode majorly. So we suffer insecurity. In the last video I said, well, just watch it for yourself.
Now, we have about 3,000 people that are reported to have been killed in Nigeria between January and March because of insecurity situation.
So let's talk about the insecurity issue in Nigeria, which is like really, I don't even know what to qualify to it. I don't know, I'm short of words. It's really terrible. Now we have an army that is 235,000 strong. Why can we not defeat Boko Haram? I don't understand. Why? We know where they are. They are in the Sambisa forest. Why is it difficult for us to go there and annihilate them? This problem started in 2009. Everybody has forgotten about the Chibok girls. 276 girls were abducted. This is 2022. We're talking of 13 years later. Over 100 of those girls are still being abducted. What is the government doing? It's terrible. More needs to be done. We know where they are. Can't we take the fight to them? There's so much technology.
We should buy blimps. The blimps are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blimps are equipment that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations that they've done, where they go back to. Okay. Well, they did not buy this equipment up to now.
Recently, somebody flew a drone over where terrorists are, somewhere in Ogun State. Bandits. One of them who attempted to shoot the drone down. Anyway, just look at the footage for yourself.
What am I trying to say?
You are doing well.
Chai, here is God. Oh.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not? It's You be mumu. You think say they wise? You are a mumu man.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Not be juju be that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So you can see for yourself. It's not as if we don't know where they are. We know where they are. A citizen flew his drone and captured that. One even attempted to shoot it. Come on, what's happening? In 2021, which was last year, some of the Chibok girls escaped. Imagine, they escaped and they said others were still alive. What is the government doing with this? In 2017, I clearly remember that some of the girls were released. I think about 82 of them were released. The Swiss government and the Red Cross here, they contributed $3 million, and 5 Boko Haram captives were swapped for 82 of those girls. Why are we negotiating with terrorists? We returned 5 of them. Those 5 that were in captive, what intel did they provide? I don't understand. Countries like America do not negotiate with terrorists. But so far, it is now that the Nigerian government is beginning to now reason that, okay, let's pass it into law that we cannot negotiate with terrorists. Why? People were kidnapped in the Abuja train tracks, in the Abuja-Kaduna rail tracks. The next thing we saw was that the Bank of Industry MD was released, and other people are there because they have no one. The government have released who is important to them. That's really, really terrible. There should be no negotiation. If you catch a terrorist, what you need to do is shoot on sight. Americans were not fool when they decided to do that for Osama bin Laden. If you keep Osama bin Laden alive, they are, what they call it, Al-Qaeda are definitely going to kidnap some more Americans and request for a trade. You give us our guy, we give you your people. So we do not negotiate with terrorists, you shoot on sight. When they are recruiting people and whoever is being recruited knows that, man, we have a second thought. I say, look, do I really need to go into this? Because he knows that if I'm caught, he shoot on sight. That should be the law.
Yes.
What were the army doing? All they did was just destroy the shock absorber of that car. It's appalling to watch that. That's all they just did. Keep loading them up, unloading them. Okay, load them at the end of the day. Where are they? Nobody knows where they are. We don't know if they escaped, if they granted them amnesty, which the government has done a few times, which is completely wrong. Please, we need to start doing a shoot at sight order for these terrorists. Let's send the message. Let's send the message back to them. We can't continue living like this. What they have done to Nigeria, it's so bad. In 2010, 110 schoolgirls were kidnapped in Dapuchi. How come? Dapuchi is just so close to Chibok. So it happened in Chibok. Shots. It's really, really sad. It happened in Chibok. They took 276 girls. And in just 1 year, They did the same thing in almost the same vicinity. What security measures were put in place by the government? Nothing. It reoccurred again. In 2015, 40 boys and girls were still kidnapped. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Why can this not be curbed? This is really sad. In 2020, boys were kidnapped, 500. How do you move 500 people? It's not as if they were in the bush, they were in school. You moved them out from the school. What were the security? Ah, God. Welcome to Nigeria, where power fails. So what are we doing? How can 500 boys be kidnapped and moved from school through the town into the bushes and nobody's saying anything about this? There's something wrong. People need to be investigated, you know. People need to be investigated and people need to be prosecuted. We don't just keep quiet. A lot is gone wrong. Recently, I think that video was late last year.
Yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock.
So you can imagine, the government know who these terrorists are. They are in government. That's why we need to vote wisely. Come 2023, 500 boys abducted in the state of the president, Katsina State. Sad. What followed was 200 in 2021 year. 317 girls were abducted in Zamfara State, all from school. You can't send your children to boarding school anymore. Why? Why? So the Nigerian government needs to sit up and do what is right. The government needs to sit up.
It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yeah. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course.
We need to do what is right. We need to prosecute the people who are sponsoring Boko Haram. They cannot go free. They will not go free. So many lives have been lost. The government needs to do better. We can't continue this way. We have to send a message to the terrorists. We know where they are. They are in the Sambisa forest. Come on. We have Air Force. Last year, Buhari acquired 2 cargo jets. What are our jets doing? We have the technology. We have the money to buy the technology. If they claim they don't have, we have it. You can fly a drone over. Pick their spot. Send in your squads. Well, a lot needs to be done. It's just appalling. So we'll have to move to other topics, which we'll talk about, because it's all about fixing Nigeria. We just have to fix this country. We don't have a choice.
We are Nigerian. We are dying.